I don't know how this is the first video we've ever done on, but this show has quickly become one of my favorite shows on right now. Superhero teen gets powers and now has to deal with superhero problems as well as real life problems isn't exactly unfamiliar territory, but Robert Kirkman's writing really adds some necessary humanity to the more out there characters and concepts that populate this universe. I mean, it's gotten to the point where I can confidently say that Invincible is now one of my top 5 favorite superheroes ever. My boy Mark just has that much sauce. It's a good indicator of the quality of the show that whenever a new season drops, that almost immediately becomes my favorite season. And Mark had a lot to deal with this season. His main conflict was dealing with having to kill villains in order to save more lives and figuring out whether or not he truly has no other choice to do so when doing his superhero thing. Now me personally, I prefer my superheroes not to kill. I'm old school. I'm a big fan of good guys doing good things and bad guys doing bad things. And I'm more of a Superman guy than a Punisher guy. Don't get me wrong though, that doesn't mean I don't mind a little morally gray angst from time to time, and I think it's done really well here. The character progression of how Mark got here makes total sense. Last season he had to deal with the consequences of not making sure Angstrom Levy was totally finished off when he came back with an army of evil variants of Invincible, who were running around doing hood rat shit with their friends.
Angstrom! You're dead! Ugh! He can't hear you, idiot!
It really feels like a natural progression of Mark's character arc as he continues to discover that being a superhero is actually kinda trash. Especially in the world of Invincible, where world-ending shit happens twice a week and super space Nazis keep showing up to beat your ass. Speaking of which, one thing I feel like not enough people praise this show for is the way it perfectly balances the multiple subplots it's got going on. They'll introduce something in a small way in one season just to pay it off later, and it never feels like it comes out of nowhere. The other major subplot going on this season is the introduction of the man, the myth, the mother legend, Grand Regent Thragg. That's right, the Viltrumite with the world's cleanest lineup made his debut this season, and he did not disappoint at all. Now, I spent a lot of time on the internet, probably too much, so I saw a lot of you flapping your gums about how Lee Pace didn't feel like the right voice actor for Thragg. And it only took till the next episode for all y'all to join Thragg FC.
Was a serial killer who bragged about killing people, and he professed and confessed to be a demon.
He was that, bruh. If he wanted you out of there, he'll go do it himself on feet by himself.
None of yours slick, bro. Stay over there. We rocking with Super Freddie Mercury. Seriously though, Lee Pace was the perfect choice to voice Thragg. He really injects a regal, yet furious menace to the top mustache on Viltrum.
Come home, Nolan. Come home, and all will be forgiven.
Viltrum is not a tomb!
It is who we are.
And thankfully, Pace has a lot to work with when it comes to Thragg because he's such an interesting character. He's leading a near-extinct race of people with a bad habit of fascism and conquering planets, but he's also got so much Viltrum pride that he doesn't even really want to fight Mark and Nolan because there's already so few of them left. And that's what makes the deal that he makes with Mark so intriguing, but more on that a little later. Because while he may not want to fight Mark and Nolan, I think I can speak for everyone when I say we still want to see it, and see it we did. The show has definitely become pretty well known for its fight scenes, and for good reason. I put the action in these scenes right up there with some classic fight scenes from some films, and certainly other animated shows. The animation this season has gotten a lot of criticism from fans for being a bit lacking during certain scenes. And I can't say I fully disagree, but unfortunately it seems like one of those situations where we can either have consistent quality animation and wait 3 years in between every season, or get a season a year where they will have to cut some corners here and there. Me personally, I don't think the animation has gotten too bad for me to really have an issue with it yet, especially compared to some shows like the now infamous Uzumaki adaptation on Adult Swim. Plus, I wouldn't be shocked if they're working those animators like hell in that Prime Video sweatshop. Their labor is certainly appreciated. This country doesn't pay animators enough. Folks also weren't really feeling episode 4 of this season, Herm, which centered on the demonic detective Damien Darkblood, because it felt too much like filler and didn't progress the story enough. And while I will say it was my least favorite episode of the season, I still liked it. Yeah, the pacing was a little slow, and I don't exactly care about the hell subplot as much as the other ones, but Robert Kirkman himself penned this episode, and from what I hear from comic readers, this is actually a new addition to the story, so I will have to assume that this will come back in a major way later on in the show, but I'm fully prepared to be wrong. Plus, Volcanica as a seemingly unbeatable lava monster who wants to take over the surface world really gave Mark a chance to deal with his goat of this growing habit of killing villains without actually killing a villain. His biggest fear right now is that he'll end up like his dad. That's what his convos with Art and Damien were about. Honestly, I really don't know how people missed that. That's why he's back in his classic black and yellow and blues by the end of the episode. Again, I personally wouldn't call it filler, but I get why most people didn't care about it. Back to the goat of Viltrum, Thragg.
General Craig got me a gift from Earth. He calls it an air fryer.
Even though the animation was a bit lacking in some scenes, they clearly decided to go all out for the big battle between the Coalition of Planets and the Viltrumites. I ran this shit back multiple times, boy. I was in my place standing watching it like an African dad watching the news. It culminating in Space Racer, Mark, Nolan, and Thaddeus destroying Viltrum was not only unexpected, but astonishing. My mouth was open for like 2 minutes straight.
Pause, bro.
By the way, I know people are like, why didn't Space Racer just keep shooting his super gun at the Viltrumites? But I think a lot of fans have missed that once he shoots his gun, the beam that comes out of it goes on forever and destroys everything in its path, so he's really got to be careful when he shoots it. I have no defense for him missing Thragg though, that man was standing still as hell. So Space Racer might be on fraud watch, my boy. Tech Jacket was another character that people were questioning being there, and I think the show could have done a better job of explaining that her alien tech suit is one of the only things that can also hurt a Viltrumite. Not that she did much except shoot them with darts that make them weaker and fly off, but still, she helped some. I haven't read the books, so I have nothing much to say about them deciding to gender swap her, but I like the character as presented here. She really added some levity to the more dark moments of this story arc. Can't say the same about Oliver, who was veering dangerously into Scrappy-Doo territory for me.
Why is everyone so nervous about fighting this Thragg guy? No way he lives up to the hype.
No. Wait. Black.
I thought the pregnancy and abortion storyline they did with Adam Eve this season was respectful and well done, and I could definitely see why she would make the decisions she did in the situation she was in. But also, I'm kind of tired of my girl Leah's powers constantly being nuked. She can literally make anything she wants. She's arguably a more powerful hero than even Mark, but the show doesn't act like it. Remember last season when she basically got Conquest to like 10% health so Mark could finish him off? I'm expecting season 6 to be a banger now that the Viltrumites are on Earth after Mark and them kinda nuked Viltrum. The deal Mark was forced to make with Thragg to keep everyone safe is a real dilemma. There's less than 40 Viltrumites left, including Thragg, Lori Harvey's daddy, Mr. Krabs, White Bianca Belair, and Viltrumite Ghislaine Maxwell. So they gotta start repopulating as soon as possible, and if Mark doesn't let them get their freak on Earth, they'll destroy it. Seeing Mark struggle with the decision to let them do it for now really did a lot for this story, and I mean, it's not like he has much of a choice. We've seen what Thragg can do now, and Mark, well...
Stop. Mark, look at me. You're not him.
I mean, my guy was literally running from the fight, and I get it. Never seen no shit like someone be sucked into a punch before like that. Overall, this season was a solid 4 out of 5 for me. I can't wait until next year. This show has become must-watch appointment TV for me in such a relatively short amount of time, and it really speaks to the talent of the creators behind it in writing such memorable characters. Y'all ain't shit if Debbie gets back with Nolan, though. Hey, wait a minute. Why the fuck did Mark confront Cecil about getting pressed by Conquest when he told him that he was dead? I mean, I'd have some questions.